sovereign immunity. It's a limitation on the amount of money the city can be sued for, and it waives sovereign immunity. So it means the city, in essence, we've got our pants down to the extent of any liability incurred.
You mind if I record you, Mr. Sutherland?
Well, what's that got to do with him being released?
Was that a yes? I'm sorry. You don't mind. I'm here. Okay.
What does it have to do with him being released?
Yeah.
The agreement was entered into while he was one of the highest public servants we have.
Well, here's what I think happened. I don't think the council wanted him to be chief anyway. Brown put him as chief. You guys got mad, got rid of Brown, and got the role. Bruce
Barron. Oh yeah, get rid of Bruce really quick. He's in, he's out. Go on, now we can work on somebody else.
Yeah. I mean, who's next in line?
But all I'm saying is, what would be a great thing to do is if everybody would participate in council meetings, understand what we understand, use the information, and gain access to the information that we have.
Well, let's see. The last time I read about the council meeting, you guys went back and retroactive a bunch of laws that no longer matter to the city anyway. Let's see. You don't have to live in the city to be a what?
To be a director.
Right. Why? There's a reason for that.
Again, understand, I wasn't on the city council when they enacted.
There's a reason why they want you to live in the city. Because when you make rules and pass rules and stuff, it not only affects the citizens, but it affects you too. It's not affecting De Leon what's going on here. He lives in Lake Placid. He has no intention to move to Avon Park. Never had an intention to move to Avon Park.
But wouldn't you, as a city resident, want to have the best people in the job?
You call De Leon the best?
That's not my question. My
well,
question
you put him in the
is,
position. You guys put him in the position, so you must think he's one of the best then.
I think at present he's the best option that we have.
I think we had a good option.
Again, I would ask you.
I don't think De Leon's that option. De Leon doesn't even live in Avon Park.
But he got a nice raise when he became the city.
Oh, he's going to keep on
Last year he got a nice raise
when they make him city manager.
And you understand that.
He already got that set up.
They spend my money.
And he doesn't get the raise as city manager. After annexing more of Avon Park, he'll get a raise as a public works person because they'll have more work to do. He's already got that set up, and it's already a done deal.
Have you looked at the amount of money he has saved the city?
How do you figure he saved the city?
You go talk to council.
He's been here, what, 3 months?
Exactly.
You
No.
He's a miracle boy. He is.
Oh,
he has come up with some cash money. Like
no, if you go look at the proceeds that he's generated for the city of Baltimore, they're used in installing some kind of sewage, septage processing. We're getting vendors and contractors from Polk County, from many counties outside of Highlands County that are bringing their septage in because we can process their septage because our plant is running at 30% capacity. The benefits that he's generating for the city in that alone have enabled the city to then pass a rate reduction, propose an ordinance that is going to reduce the septic.
I know that's wrong.
Well, he also had the landfill reclassified too.
We were just talking
so
about
now that frees up all that money.
Sebring is following suit.
Sebring is following suit, but Sebring needs to make sure that it can be done before they copy what Avon Park.
Well, I don't know why you just don't put De Leon on a pedestal guide and let him just wave his hand and Avon Park is healed.
And
I mean, what's the city council needed for? I mean, what's the mayor needed for? I mean, De Leon says every well around here.
And by one signature, if you compare the amount of money that the city has paid to Chastain and Skillman for past engineering.
And when did De Leon do this?
Since he's been out as public works.
Since he's been but who was the city manager at that time?
It would have probably been Maria Sutherland, interim city manager, and then Bruce Barron for the 5 months he was here.
So who authorized him to do that?
He can only be authorized instead of the fact that he maintains an engineering degree.
No, who authorized him to go ahead with that project?
City council.
Okay. And that has to be approved to the city manager and everybody else, right?
It has to be approved by city council.
Okay, but it goes to the city manager, right?
It goes through the city.
Sutherland or what's his name, Barron? Did he stop it? No. Okay, so he did his job, what he was supposed to do as the public works. He's good at sewage. Okay, that's what De Leon's good at. He's good at sewage. He's shown nothing that he can do anything else except get hired by you guys and snowball everybody and cover your guys' ass while he says, well, this only happened once and these people are really nice people and this and that.
I've been wondering what
He's all talking.
City manager. I mean,
I'm just trying to catch up on this in 2 weeks.
Now I understand
Am I doing all right?
He's got the degrees, he's got the school, and he's got all that. But what in God's name qualifies him for a city manager?
My initial,
even interim city manager.
my initial opinion is if you look at the method by which he's operated public works,
I'll tell you about 110,000 a year.
if you look at, he's paid far less than that. If you, well, maybe not if you consider his pension or his benefits. But if you look at the way he's operated public works, in this economy, we've got to strive to get that same management style in each and every department. If we can work, if we can, because quite frankly, guys, all we want our city to do is pick up our garbage, make sure the water comes out of the spigot when we turn the water on, make sure a police department shows up when we call.
Well, you're going to have a police department, we're going to have a sheriff department.
And have a fire department, have a truck show up if our place catches on fire. That's really all I want my city to do.
Well, from what I understood, the fire department didn't have any problem with veterans either, did he?
Bruce Barons was not, in my opinion, terminated having anything to do with fire department.
What was he terminated for?
In my opinion, was a lack of an ability to effectively manage.
Oh, what it was not effectively communicating with the mayor and the council, even though he communicated with everybody else.
Sit up there and go, well, he did this without letting us know, he did it without letting us know. I mean, it was like every time we had a meeting, she harped on that. Well,
It sounded like my two kids fighting
nobody
over
told
there.
us.
So,
And I mean, I understand that if that's the qualifications y'all use for electing DeLeon up there, then I'm qualified for city manager because as a single parent, I can run the hell out of my house. So if that's the case, trust me, I can run rings about that boy. Okay, because I can work some miracles on $110 a week unemployment. Trust me, I ain't never had my water shut off, my lights ain't never been shut off. I got a 3-bedroom house, and I'm driving my 2002 truck. Okay.
And he's not a financial genius, as you say. His house is upside down and he can't move to begin with.
If that's the qualifications, if that's what y'all are using as qualifications, that I got girlfriends who's single parents. Hell, we could run this city. Trust me.
of the individuals,
I'm just saying.
of the individuals that we had to select from, he was, in my mind, the best candidate.
When it came to his suggestion, the only name was Cheryl as the city clerk because that's how the steps were supposed to be, and then the next name was DeLeon. So there wasn't individuals.
It was known 2 weeks before Barons was even fired, because I did heard about it.
Well, yeah, we all heard about it. The date that he was going to be fired, we knew all of that. I mean, yeah.
And for DeLeon to sit there and say, I stayed up the night before all night because I couldn't think I'd come up with this great 8-point plan
to fix the city. Had it first thing the next morning.
Yeah.
What I can tell you is I had no knowledge. So now if you did, you're more clairvoyant and have a better crystal ball than I do.
Can I ask you a question, Councilman?
This whole town knew about it.
Is Chief Rowan on the agenda tonight, or and if he's not, do you expect his situation to come up tonight?
What I believe is that the contract that the chief has is on the agenda tonight.
Okay.
Whether or not anything else as it relates to the police chief.
Is that going to be tomorrow night for the special meeting?
I'm sorry?
Is that tomorrow night for the special meeting?
To my knowledge, I don't have a special meeting tomorrow night.
Is there a meeting tomorrow
I
night?
heard there was a special meeting tomorrow
Yes,
night.
there is.
Absolutely there is.
Yeah.
What's today? Oh, 26. No, that's a special meeting for visioning, as I understand it, to anticipation of selecting.
I guess the better question is, what do you have knowledge about around here?
To selecting a new city manager. To answer my question.
Do you have any reasonable expectation that the city council will retroactively change the criteria for a city manager to fit current employees?
I have no knowledge of any attempt.
Well, you're a city council member. Would you?
No,
You wouldn't support that?
Well, it's not. What I would support is to have the best person that we can get in.
Well, but Bruce Barons was criticized, if you remember, for making job descriptions that fit current employees. And what I'm asking you is, do you have any anticipation, or would you support the idea of retroactively changing the recommendations of the criteria for city manager to fit current employees?
That was not one of my critiques of Mr. Barron.
I didn't say it was one of yours.
Let me finish, Barry. If you let me finish my response, brother, I'll get to your question. And what I would say is that I am in support of doing everything we can do to ensure that we have the ability to select that person that we believe is the best at the job. Now, whether or not that means retroactively changing something or not, I don't want to hamstring myself into boxing myself into a corner where I don't believe I can appoint and select the best, most qualified individual that I can.
what's the city willing to spend this time?
I want to spend absolutely not a dime more than I absolutely have to spend to get the person that I think is best qualified.
Okay, what's the highest you're willing to go?
It just is not a nickel higher than I have to.
Well, we heard
Brother,
115,
you're not-
125.
I can't nail you down because I don't know. I don't know what the market bears.
You have to wait for DeLeon to tell you?
No, sure.
Huh? No, sure.
Can I ask you a follow-up question? Back to Chief Rowan and on his contract tonight. Sorry. Do you anticipate his contract being modified? I know that whole felony thing was an issue, but do you think his contract will be modified and continued, or do you think he might be terminated tonight?
My concern about the contract is whether or not it is enforceable at all.
Right.
Because I think there are some provisions in the contract that may have exceeded any authority that the city manager had to enter into the contract. I don't know, in law sometimes you can have a contract that's declared void, you can have a contract that's declared voidable, then there are differences, and then there may be a savings provision in it that says if one portion of it's declared void or voidable, then the remainder of it remains enforceable. What I think is that it smells really bad to me. If I look at the terms of the contract, I mean, I know we've had several officers from our department that have been arrested for allegations, and I think maybe even been committed of committing various crimes. I think one shook a child to death. I would hate to have a contract that I believed I had to interpret that would require me to pay severance to that individual.
Right.
And my interpretation of the contract that we have is that we would be required to do that in the event that that same situation occurred, and I think that's a travesty.
Who has the
Thank you.
sheriff department come in?
I have, my understanding it was just the sheriff directed the sheriff's officer to be present at the last council meeting.
No, who brought the sheriff department in to take over the APPD?
They were requested.
I think that
They were requested.
I think DeLeon did that.
DeLeon. Okay. And then what did he leave 2 days after that?
That would be a question for interim city manager.
Thank you, Councilman Sutherland. Appreciate it.
Sure, man, anytime.